How's it going, everybody? It's Charlie and welcome back to another video on the Chatting Leeds YouTube channel. It's time for another instalment of Bitesize Leeds. All the latest goings on in the wonderful world of Leeds United Football Club, transfer news, news about Leeds in general. It all goes down on Bitesize Leeds. We all know this. So just before I get into it, smash that like button, please subscribe, share all of your thoughts and opinions in the comment section down below. And yeah, let's get right into it then. So first up, big breaking news last night, and obviously in the last 24 hours really, is that Chelsea have now reached full agreement with Leeds United for the transfer of Raphinha. They've kind of come out of nowhere. Obviously, they have been linked with him, of course, but in terms of actually firm interest in making bids and such, they've kind of come out of nowhere with this. According to Fabrizio Romano, including the add-ons, it's going to be 65 million, with the main part of that fee being paid immediately. So I think we're probably going to be looking at 55 to 60 million up front, and with the add-ons it'll rise up to 65. Obviously the talks will now start about personal terms and his contract and everything, but I mean, it isn't the ideal club for a Leeds player to be going to, but I think the saving grace is that it isn't Calvin that's going to a club that Leeds have got a bit of history with. I don't think Raphinha owes us the same things that Calvin does, in a sense. Obviously, Calvin's a Leeds lad, he's a Leeds fan. He gets the hatred between Leeds and Chelsea, between Leeds and Man United, and so on. So I think Raphinha's just thinking about this as a career standpoint. He isn't thinking of it to be disrespectful towards Leeds. I think Leeds have really helped him make his name on the world stage, because I think without Leeds, his Brazil career wouldn't have happened. I don't think. Maybe it would have eventually, but I think in terms of how quick it's happened, I don't think it would have happened this quick if he wasn't at Leeds. We've put him on that global stage because everybody watches the Premier League. And this new Chelsea owner seems like he means business. They're in talks to get Raheem Sterling as well. So if they get Sterling on one side, Raf on the other, you know, I must say it pains me to say it, but that's a really good attacking line, obviously, with the likes of Werner, Havertz playing in that striker, false nine place as well. So, yeah, initial thoughts is that, yeah, I'm gutted that it's Chelsea, but I'm not as gutted as what it would have been if Phillips had gone there. I think Raf will be a really good addition to Chelsea. It's Champions League football as well, which is something I think he thoroughly deserves because he's a world class player. I don't think Arteta would have played him over the likes of Saka at Arsenal, even though obviously I am biased. I do think Raphinha would get in, maybe not over Saka, but over Martinelli. And I don't think Arteta. I think Arteta would have used him as a rotation option, which is just not what Raf will want and need for his career. Obviously, Chelsea is a former club of his agent, Deco, who's shown himself to be a bit sleazy and a bit snaky throughout this transfer window. He's been having meetings left, right and centre, trying to pimp Raphinha out. But it does look like Chelsea are in the driving seat now. Everything's agreed between Leeds and Chelsea. It's all about Raphinha's personal terms now, which I don't think will be an issue. Chelsea have just been bought out, so I don't think there'll be an issue there in terms of the wages and everything. I think he'll accept the personal terms. And I think this one could go through pretty quickly, I would say, by the end of this week or at the very latest this time next week. Again, heartbreaking to see him go to Chelsea. We've actually got Chelsea in the second home game of the season, the third game of the whole season at Ellen Road, which will be, you know, a weird sort of feeling. Obviously, he is the best player that I've ever seen wear a Leeds United shirt. And it'll just be weird seeing him wear that blue shirt of Chelsea, just like it'll be weird seeing Phillips wear City's shirt as well. But yeah, I mean, Phillips going to City is heartbreaking in terms of the sentiment, but not as heartbreaking because of the club. Raf is heartbreaking just because of the club that it's going to. In terms of the sentiment, yeah, he's been a great player, but I think we all knew that Leeds would be a stepping stone for him. and that he would move on to better things. Chelsea are in the Champions League. He'll definitely be a first team option under Thomas Tuchel. So I think his international career will thrive. He'll have a good World Cup. And in years to come, if he reaches certain heights, we'll be able to look back and say he played for Leeds. Obviously, I thank Raphinha for everything that he's done. You know, great servant in the 2 seasons that he's been at Leeds. Single-handedly helped us stay in the Premier League in the season just gone. So I wish him all the best, apart from the 2 games that he plays against us. So we'll move on from Raphinha and talk about Charlie Cresswell. Now, Charlie Cresswell does look like that he's in talks with Millwall over a loan move, which I'm a bit gutted by, because I think Charlie would have been a good option at centre-back this season. I'm not saying he would be ready to start week in, week out, but I think if certain players got injured, if certain players were suspended and such, I would have fully trusted Charlie Cresswell to step in and play a part. But he wants minutes, and you've just got to hold your hands up and just respect that. Again, going to Millwall, a club that Leeds United don't like, and that don't like us, and he's a Leeds lad as well. But it is what it is. I think the Championship's a good league for him to go and learn his trade more. And I think next season, I can fully expect Charlie Cresswell being a future Leeds United starting centre-back. I just don't think he's quite at that level yet. But I think the Championship would be a great league for him to go and get some extra minutes. So keep your eyes out for that one, because that one looks like that could be happening as well. James McAtee at Man City. Apparently, Leeds United are trying to sign him on a permanent deal. I think that's a load of rubbish, if I'm honest, because all the talk at the City end is that they want to keep him and kind of approach him in the same way that they did with Phil Foden, which he does look like a real top young English talent, so you can completely understand that. In terms of another potential incoming at Leeds United, Charles de Ketelaere from Club Bruges. Apparently, Leeds United are preparing a £26 million bid for the Club Bruges Belgian striker. Apparently, Club Bruges are wanting to accept a fee as close to 34 million as possible, with the Serie A champions AC Milan in for him as well. An opening bid of 26 million is a good opening bid. I think you'll probably get a decent feel of what Club Brugge would be willing to accept. I know I've just said 34 there, but they may be willing to accept a bit less than that if Orta and Rads can sell the project to him, which I think they're capable of. Then hopefully, and it's the Premier League as well. It's the best league in world football, in my opinion, and everybody's opinion. Yeah, AC Milan can offer him Champions League football, but it's in a boring league, if I'm being honest. I think kind of like Raphinha, if he comes over to Leeds, plays in the Premier League and plays really well for a few seasons, we could then get a bigger fee for him and just keep doing the Leicester model. So yeah, hopefully that is one that Leeds can pull, because that would be an amazing signing. This guy's the real deal. It would be really good to see him in that white Leeds United shirt. So yeah, that brings us to the end of this morning's upload, people. I really hope you've all enjoyed it. Smash that like button. Please subscribe. Share all of your thoughts and opinions in the comment section down below. And I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.